But at 2:17 a.m., when the house is silent and the ceiling feels like it's staring back at you, you know this is not just getting older. It's heavier than that. It's lying there, exhausted but wired. It's your body begging for rest while your mind replays every mistake you've ever made. It's feeling your heart thump in the quiet like it's trying to remind you of everything you've been trying not to feel. And you don't tell anyone, because who complains about sleep? You've survived bigger things: loss, rejection, disappointment, being overlooked. You've learned how to carry pain without making noise. But night is different. Night removes the mask. In the daytime, you are capable, responsible, needed. You answer calls, you show up, you solve problems. You keep going. At night, there is no performance. There is just you and the silence and the thoughts, the ones you push away during the day, the quiet fear that maybe you're not as important as you once were, the sting of being replaced at work, the adult children who call less often, the friendships that faded without a fight, the partner who sleeps peacefully beside you while you stare into darkness, wondering why you feel so alone, even when someone is there. Sleep used to come easily. You would fall into it like a warm lake. Now it feels like something you have to negotiate with. You try harder, you go to bed earlier, you lie still, you count hours instead of sheep, and the more you chase sleep, the further it runs. What hurts isn't just the tiredness, it's what the tiredness whispers. It whispers that your body is changing, that you're not as strong as you were, that time is moving in one direction, and you cannot argue with it. It whispers that you are becoming invisible, and that is the part you never say out loud. Because you have spent your life being the strong one, the reliable one, the one who didn't need much, the one who handled things. Now your own mind won't let you rest. You wake up at 3 a.m. with a sudden jolt, as if something terrible has happened. Nothing has, but your nervous system doesn't know that. It feels danger in silence. It feels loss in stillness, because when you slow down, your body remembers what you never processed, the grief you swallowed, the apology you never received, the version of yourself you had to abandon just to survive. You tell yourself it's just sleep, but it isn't. It's unspoken tension. It's years of responsibility. It's the quiet ache of wanting to feel valued again. There was a man I once met in a small clinic waiting room. He looked composed, clean shirt, polite smile, mid-60s. He told the nurse he had insomnia. When the doctor asked what was wrong, he shrugged. "I just can't stay asleep." But as he kept talking, the truth slipped out. He had retired 2 years earlier. At first, it felt like freedom. Then the phone stopped ringing. No more early meetings, no more people asking for his opinion, no more decisions resting on his shoulders. He told me, in a voice that almost cracked, "I didn't realize how much I mattered there until I didn't." Every night he would wake up at 4 a.m. wide awake, heart racing, not because of caffeine, not because of noise, because his identity had shifted and he didn't know who he was without being needed. His body was not broken, his sense of purpose was bruised, and his sleep was carrying the weight of that bruise. You might not be retired, your story might look different, but somewhere inside, something has shifted. Your hormones change, your rhythms change, your responsibilities change, and no one really tells you that sleep after a certain age isn't just about mattresses and pillows. It's about safety. As you age, your body becomes more sensitive to stress, even small stress. Your brain wakes easier, it protects you faster, but no one teaches you how to teach your body that it is safe again. So you lie there fighting it and fighting yourself. You check the clock, you calculate how miserable tomorrow will be. You feel resentment build, then shame, because you think, why can't I handle something this simple? But here is what no one tells you. Sleep is not conquered, it is invited. And as you age, the invitation changes. The first thing nobody tells you is that your body now needs darkness earlier, not later, not just physical darkness, emotional darkness too. You cannot scroll through arguments and tragedies and expect your nervous system to soften. You cannot watch other people's perfect lives at 10:30 p.m. and expect your brain not to compare. Your mind absorbs everything, especially now. The second thing nobody tells you is that waking up in the middle of the night is not failure. It is biology. As you age, deep sleep becomes lighter. That doesn't mean you are broken. It means your sleep comes in waves, not oceans. When you wake, the worst thing you can do is panic. Panic tells your brain, this is danger, and it responds accordingly. Instead of fighting the wakefulness, sit up gently. Breathe. Keep the lights dim. Let your body know this is not an emergency. You are not under attack. You are simply awake. The third thing nobody tells you is that your body holds emotional residue. If you spend the day suppressing frustration, ignoring sadness, pretending you're fine, It will surface when the world goes quiet. Your nervous system is not cruel. It is honest. Give yourself 15 minutes in the evening, not on your phone, not in front of the television, just to sit and ask, what am I actually feeling? You will be surprised at what comes up. Name it. Lonely, unappreciated, worried, tired of being strong. When you name an emotion, it softens. When you ignore it, it roars at 2 a.m. The fourth thing nobody tells you is that your body now craves consistency more than intensity. Late dinners, random schedules, weekend sleep-ins. They confuse your internal clock more deeply than they used to. Your system wants rhythm. Simple rhythm. Wake at the same time. Get light in your eyes early. Move your body even gently. You don't need punishing workouts. You need signals of life. A short walk in morning sunlight can do more for your night than another sleeping pill. The fifth thing nobody tells you is that temperature matters more now. Your body cools differently as you age. A slightly cooler room, a warm shower before bed to trigger that cooling response afterward. These small things send powerful signals. Sleep is chemistry. But chemistry responds to ritual. The sixth thing nobody tells you is that caffeine lingers longer in your system now. What never bothered you at 35 can sit in your bloodstream at 65 like a quiet intruder. That afternoon cup of tea, that evening coffee with a friend, it might be whispering to your nervous system long after you think it's gone. The seventh thing nobody tells you is that you are allowed to redefine rest. Rest is not weakness. It is not laziness. It is not surrender. You have spent decades proving your worth through productivity. Now your body is asking for a different proof. Gentleness. The turning point doesn't come from forcing 8 perfect hours. It comes the night you stop making sleep a battlefield. It comes the night you wake at 3:12 a.m., feel the familiar surge of frustration, and instead of spiraling, you place your hand on your chest and say quietly, I am safe. You breathe in slowly. You breathe out longer than you breathe in. You don't argue with the darkness. You let it be dark. You realize something in that moment. You are not fighting sleep. You are fighting the fear of losing control. You are fighting the fear of becoming irrelevant. You are fighting the quiet voice that says you are fading. And here is the psychological truth that changes everything. Your body is not betraying you. It is transitioning. It is asking for attention in a new language. For decades, you overrode it. You pushed through exhaustion. You ignored stress. You postponed grief. Now it refuses to be ignored. Not to punish you, but to protect you. Sleep disturbances as you age are often signals not just of hormonal shifts, but of unprocessed tension and identity shifts. When you treat yourself like a problem to be solved, your nervous system stays on alert. When you treat yourself like someone worthy of care, it begins to stand down. The man in the clinic didn't fix his sleep overnight. He started volunteering twice a week. Not to stay busy, to feel needed again. He began walking each morning at the same time. He stopped watching late night news. He kept a small notebook by his bed. When he woke at 4 a.m., instead of staring at the ceiling, he wrote whatever thought was circling. Within weeks, his awakenings became shorter. Within months, he said something that stayed with me. I stopped trying to win against the night. I started listening to it. That is the shift. You are not broken because you wake up. You are human. You are changing, and change does not mean decline. It means adaptation. You deserve sleep, not because you earned it, not because you were productive enough, not because you pleased everyone today. You deserve sleep because you are alive, because your body has carried you through years of effort and heartbreak and responsibility. B, because you are still here. Tonight, instead of dreading the dark, prepare for it like you would prepare a room for someone you care about. Dim the lights earlier than you think you need to. Turn off the noise. Let your body feel the approach of rest. If you wake in the night, do not attack yourself. Remind yourself that lighter sleep is normal now. Get up briefly if you need to. Keep it calm. Keep it dim. Return without drama. During the day, step outside within an hour of waking. Let sunlight anchor your clock. Move gently. Stretch, walk. Breathe. Cut caffeine earlier than you think is necessary. Eat at regular times. Create a small wound down ritual that signals safety. A warm shower, soft music, a few pages of a calming book, and before you lie down, place one hand over your heart and one over your stomach. Feel the rise and fall. Tell yourself something you rarely say. I am still valuable, even in rest, because the deepest exhaustion you feel is not just physical. It is the exhaustion of always being the strong one. You don't have to be strong in the dark. You can be soft there. You can be unfinished there. You can be someone who is learning their body again. Aging is not a slow disappearance. It is a refinement, a stripping away of what no longer fits. Your sleep is changing because you are changing. and change asks for compassion. So tonight, when the clock glows in the darkness and you feel that familiar wave of frustration rising, pause, breathe. Remember that your body is not your enemy. It is your oldest ally. Treat it like one. Start small. One earlier light, one shorter scroll, one morning walk, one honest conversation with yourself about what you're carrying. Do not wait for perfect sleep to feel okay. Feel okay first, safety first. Kindness first, sleep follows safety. And you, after everything you have endured quietly, deserve to feel safe inside your own skin. So stop fighting the night, begin befriending it, because you are not fading. You are evolving, and evolution requires rest. Give yourself permission to receive it,